Coming this way.
Before we check in with Nick Pope in Copenhagen, Colonel Holt, investigating the area days later, he's here with us now, Colonel Holt, ended up seeing something himself. Listen to this audio tape.
There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. There's yellow. I saw a yellow tinge in it too. Weird. It appears that he may be moving a little bit this way. Yes, it's probably not has been. Yellow. It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. Now we've got an object about 10 degrees directly south. 10 degrees off the horizon. And the ones in the north are moving. One's moving away from us. It's moving out fast. This one on the right heading away too. Yeah, we're both heading north.
And we have with us, he brought it along, Colonel Holt's notes that he kept while this was going on, right?
Actually, it's Sergeant Penniston's notes.
Yep. Your note. Yes. I'm sorry, Chuck. It was Sergeant Penniston's notes. You kept these while you were viewing this thing?
Yes, we needed the times and that for, log entries and stuff like that. It's routine.
Yeah. You missed the symbols on that. The symbols are so fascinating.
Routine activities, not a routine event.
That's right.
Let's check in with Nick Pope in Copenhagen, 21 years a government official for the British Ministry of Defense. Nick, what do you make of all of this?
Well, the Rendlesham Forest case was certainly one of the most compelling UFO incidents in the British government's files on this. And critically, one of the very important things about this case is that, I don't know if the Colonel has spoken about the radiation readings that were taken at the landing site. Well, the British government defence intelligence staff subsequently assessed those radiation readings as significantly higher than background levels. So there was a real tangible, solid piece of evidence to back up this extraordinary testimony.
Nick, does the British government take the same position as the United States government, as if to say it doesn't exist?
Well, the position is broadly similar, but having said that, the Ministry of Defence still does have a small UFO project, although investigations are somewhat on the back burner these days. But, I think there are still cases being reported to the government. There are still, for example, many reports coming in from pilots, reports of UFOs being tracked on radar, and the Ministry of Defence says that it keeps an open mind about the UFO phenomenon.
Fife, what do you believe? Do you believe there is life somewhere else?
I would be astonished to find out, if it were possible, that we were alone in the universe.
Do you think?
I just, we're this wonderful planet in the Milky Way, surrounded by billions of objects, and the universe is such a big place. I just think that you have to be open to that possibility.
Isn't it also open to the possibility, James, that this is just phenomena?
Well, yeah, they're definitely a phenomenon, but I mean, I think the people in a position to know what's really going on are about to disclose that on November 12th at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., and hopefully
people will. The government is going to disclose something?
The government officials from 7 countries, military and government officials.
Will disclose on Monday?
Yes, they will.
Yeah, this is an unprecedented gathering of top officials.
Why now, Colonel Holt?
I think there's greater acceptance now that there really is something there, despite the fact that there's kind of a stigma that goes with UFOs.
You believe that too, Sergeant? They're ready to come across and say at least there's something?
I think it's unavoidable right now. I think that there's been so much cases and so many points made over the last 20 years. I think it's overwhelming.
Nick, you think the British government is ready?
Yes, I think so. I think part of the problem with all of this is the stigma that's sometimes attached simply to the word UFO. And some colleagues and I at the Ministry of Defence actually tried to do away with that term and replace it with unidentified aerial phenomena, because we were certainly convinced that there were some serious defence, national security and flight safety issues here, even though we didn't know what the UFO phenomenon actually was.
What did this do to your head, Jim?
Well, I tell you what, it was a very difficult situation, and it had a terrible effect on also the airmen that were out there with me. Some won't go on camera, some will not talk about today. I think that it would probably cause a lot of... I had problems with, post-traumatic stress after it, that type of thing.
Psyche.
Yeah, it was a very traumatic experience.
We've got lots more to go. Our complete program tonight is devoted to unidentified flying objects. We'll interrupt our panel. We've been talking with military officials about UFOs. Coming up, we'll ask Shirley MacLaine what she thinks about these reports. That's next on Larry King Live.
Did you see a UFO?
I did.
I don't really know what happened to it. I saw one, but I don't know what, it just disappeared.
It's time to find out what the truth really is that's out there.
That such an investigation